How's it going? It's Man Tomorrow here. Thanks for like, sharing, commenting, subscribing to my channel. Today we're going to just receive one of these emails, and I told the individual that I'll just respond with an entire show rather than trying to help this individual with what he actually needs help with. Because this stuff is very important, man. Because a lot of these people think that the problems that they see around them is something that they should be fixing or even correcting within their own life, when that's just clearly not the case. What's going on, Mike B? What's going on, Asian? What's going on, D-Rock? So let's give people a couple minutes to come in here. We'll get started in like 2 minutes. So if y'all can like the video and share it, that'd be great. Then I'll come back and go through what I want to actually talk about. So hold on a second. All right. Thank y'all for coming through, man. The problem is that you really can't talk about manhood within this space, and it's really not respected because there's really not a whole bunch of men within this actual space. Like most people within this space have really turned this space into the music or entertainment industry. I'm gonna do a separate stream on that already. So it's just that when other people are looking at this information, it's going on Mike Shinnery, it's going on Goshen, it's going on New. So when other people are looking at this information that's being put out by people within this space, they don't understand how many more problems that are being caused by socializing young ass people who don't know any better yet about the things that they're trying to get them into is somehow going to cause them a hell of a lot more problems, so that way masculinity and manhood would never work. So I go through this for this younger guy who sent me this email, and for everybody who is eventually going to watch this video. None of this stuff in your life is going to change that I'm going to cover within this video. None of it's going to change. None of it's going to change. You have to realize a man should never have problems finding work. If immigrants can come here and get on and get paid, so can you. What I'm talking about work is finding a means to pay the bill. You are a singular person. You're not supposed to be expanding the franchise unless you have the finances and the mental stability to do so. It's very rare that you find an actual passion to which you're actually going to get paid off of. That's very rare. But it's also not your job to put your life on hold until your passion starts paying. You have to get out here and find a means to produce for yourself. You see, when you have the personal ability to produce, this is how other people's opinions stop being and having that type of effect over you in this environment. The moment you start getting your own money in a legal means and way, to the point where you don't have to listen to all these other people's opinions. What's going on, Super Trish? You see, those are problems that you ain't supposed to have. And most of these people try to make compromise look like something that men should actually be doing. Trust me, you're not supposed to think about life through a codependent lens. As a man, you should be thinking about life through an independent lens, especially independent of people within a society who actually don't have your best interests at heart. There is absolutely no rationale for most of this stuff that people go through within this environment. They only go through these things within this environment because they want to take some type of shortcut to get access to something that they probably don't need, and they end up ruining and destroying their actual ability to do other things in life because they didn't want to do things in a proper order. The individual means of production is supposed to do that for you. It's supposed to free you up from all these other forces within society and life that can really take you off the actual path of being independent. A man should not be working through anybody else's problems but his own. You have to understand that when you start working through someone else's problems and issues and never focusing on your own issues, you actually don't own you. They own you. You have to realize if it's not possible for some people in the environment and other people are actually making it within the same environment, that means you are not making the changes within your life to actually move forward and ahead. Given the history of black people within this country, there is no way in the hell I'm going to waste this one opportunity that I got to make sure things work properly. Because it's because if it don't work properly for me without these people around, why would I bring them around and into my life? A man should have no problem establishing peace for himself. It doesn't matter how far or how wide you have to go to be able to establish peace. That is something that you need to be able to put at the top of your priorities. What's going on, Cynical Nitro? So you have to realize when you put these things in the improper order and then you try to gain the respect of this reptile within this environment, and then you try to put all this other stuff after that, it don't work. It's not meant to work. You have to be able to do things in a very specific order that you write out or that you follow, so that way you can have the proper results. So you have to understand that consuming the wrong types of food is not going to make your body operate and work properly. The same thing actually goes for consuming the wrong type of information that you intend to follow. It's not going to make you operate properly either. A man should have no problem finding cooperation from an actual woman, because that's what this conversation with this individual was about. Finding it hard to find a specific thing within a specific environment. I have to tell them this: even when you go to the grocery store, you're technically still in the store. Everything that you want is not going to be on one specific aisle in the store. Sometimes, with what you want, you have to research where it's at and then go there and get that. So, when you are expecting produce on the bread aisle, the problem is not the store setup. The problem is where you're looking for specific things. If you want something that specific, you have to go research where are the most productive people and cooperative people in society on average, and then go there. That's the idea. So you have to understand that these incredibly basic things that are basic, it may seem magical when it's presented within a certain context, but at the end of the day, it's not here on average, which means you shouldn't be trying something on average that doesn't work. You have to realize that you need high percentage success plays. You don't need to be betting it all on something that has a very low percentage of completion. Along with work, A man should have no problem finding a place to live. There's absolutely no reason in cohabitating just for the sense of saving money and having in-house whiskey popper. It's not worth it. Sometimes, as a man, you need to come home and you need time to think about your next moves. You're not going to be able to think about your next move if you have to put up with another human being and possibly their children, let's keep it real, within this environment. How on earth is that going to help you make the type of changes within your life that you need to change? If you cannot make it by yourself, then it's time for your ass to move back to that hood. Your household, where you're at, should represent where you are going. There's nothing wrong with roommates. But if your roommates are not going anywhere, why are you living around these people? A man should have no problem establishing a good track record, because establishing a good track record is being in environments that suit you, that is actually moving forward, being around people that's moving forward, putting yourself in particular situations that's going to benefit you, that is going to move you forward, and staying away from people who take shortcuts. There should be a limit on the type of people who you hang around. There is no such thing as a man with I am cool with everybody. None of that stuff makes sense. Because when you do not establish the type of people that you hang around, every situation that you put yourself in that you probably don't need to be will dictate it for you. A man should have no problem keeping his name clear and clean. Unless you're in business, then people come at you. That's something totally different. A man should have no problem establishing, there we go, Mr. Pumper Jump just said it, a set of principles to by which he lives. And those principles that a man established should not go out the window depending on what level of company comes around him. A man don't have a problem opening his mouth, saying that things are wrong. A man don't have a problem try to find the right solution. A man don't have a problem with that. And those principles and boundaries is going to keep your ass out of a hell of a lot more trouble than you can document. A man should have no problem managing his finances. What do I mean by managing the finances? If you're not making enough money in some certain place, A man has no problem researching the actual things that he need to be doing within this environment in order to move up and move towards something. A man has no problem doing that. A man does not pretend to want to walk around with dead weight on his shoulders all the time. A man doesn't have a problem establishing strong ass boundaries about how things are going to operate around him. A man has no problem with that. A man has no problem establishing the if then else model within their life. This is how this goes. If your ass don't do this, then your ass is fucking gone, or else I'm fucking out. A man does not need to get himself in codependent situations based on responsibilities that are not his. It's not a man's responsibility to come back and mentor a fucking soul. It's not a man's responsibility to turn around and try to raise somebody else's kids. It's not a man's responsibility to turn around to try to bail people out of situations that they know that they shouldn't be in. That's not a man's job. A man's job is to establish order and to have consistency within an environment. A man has no problem with that. Now, if you decide to compromise for other reasons, then you're not operating like a man. If your life is somehow validated by the bullshit that somebody put you through that you know that you didn't have to fucking go through, or that you were proud to fucking go through for some dumbass fucking reason, you're not operating like no fucking man. Your finances should be able to provide you a means of transportation, reasonable transportation to get you from point A to point B. And if you can't, fine, fuck it. Catch public transportation like everybody else. This shit should be independent of other people. These things are not hard. But if you bring it around dead weight, and if you're thinking about dead weight's respect of what you're doing within the environment versus independently moving away from that type of stuff, it's not pro black to help the weak. It has nothing to do with being pro anything except for being pro weakness. You have to realize that you need to be solving these things for yourself before you start inviting all these other outside entities in. A man has no problem walking alone and by himself on the path that he sets. You shouldn't need the comfort of a whole bunch of people as a man to validate the simple fact of where you are going in life. You don't need all them friends. This ain't no damn sitcom. You're trying to make sure your individual self is secure before you start worrying about all these other people that are not your responsibility. A man is not supposed to be circling the wagon for other people. A man should not be worried about a woman that he didn't raise. A man should not be worried about a woman that is uncultured. A man should not be worried about women, period. A man has no problem looking at the track record and making a value judgment. Men always have to make value judgments. Every single situation that you go in is a microtransaction on how your life is going to turn out. If you keep putting yourself in bullshit fucking situations, you're gonna have a bullshit ass iffy anty fucking result. You see, a man don't have a problem making those type of distinctions. A man don't compromise his values to bring something within his life that further will not uphold his standards and values. I know there's a lot of people within this space who act like they give a damn, who've actually turned this space into the entertainment industry where everybody's knifing each other in the back and saying all the same stuff all the time. But a man don't need all that kind of stuff. You don't need all that kind of stuff as a man. You ever took the day off and did absolutely nothing, and somehow you still survived to the next day, even though you came in contact with nobody? That's what you need to survive. Not a goddamn thing. You see, once you start to compromise your manhood by bringing all these things and these situations along and around, so that way you can never start concentrating on yourself, that's when you stop operating like a man. Your job as a man is to not figure out how to give somebody else a deal that they cannot refuse at the expense of you. That's not what a man does. That's what a compromised man does. So you have to realize many of you have not grew up in these type of circumstances and environments that I did. But I don't give a shit about whether you did or not. It's a choice to whether or not you're going to operate like a fucking man or not once you leave those fucking situations and circumstances. It may take a lot of counseling and a lot of putting yourself in different situations to make sure that bullshit is behind you. But it's some shit that you need to fucking do. Otherwise, you're going to be falling up behind these entertainers trying to live out that entertainment life, and you're going to have a hell of a lot of consequences associated with following the bullshit advice from these people that they know goddamn well that they ain't fucking doing in their life. They are out here to specifically stagnate you so that way you will ever need their help for the rest of your own life. Just like they say in the drug industry, the first hit is fucking free. The first hit of bullshit information is free. Once you start practicing this shit in your own personal life, you're gonna realize that you always gonna need their fucking help getting your ass out of this shit. When you had the best opportunity to move forward without all this stuff by acting like a goddamn man. I bought 50,000. I know Kodak's about to come back up. They too big of a fucking company to not turn this shit around. A man has no problem cutting people the fuck off. That's the problem here. A man has no problem setting limits. A man has no problem establishing standards and fucking keeping them. A man really has none of these problems. So when I see a lot of these young people who email me who are having all these problems, that is specifically because they are not acting like men. They're trying to embody the fun that they think the bitch ass nigga is having within this fucking environment. And they're trying to try this shit in their own personal life and they end up fucking their life up right quite quickly. Because you need to understand, as a man, you are not supposed to trade in stability in order for temporary things. That's not how a man is supposed to be operating. A man is not supposed to be spending his money on a car that he cannot afford to attract other liabilities within his life that also don't give a shit about them. A man has no problem setting the standards for his team. A man does not allow anybody to co-opt you and put you on their team. Like, like no person is gonna come around this motherfucker and tell me about how much they care about the goddamn community or how pro fucking black they are. If that's the fucking case, I want to see your motherfucking track record. What's going on, Soul Provider? What's going on, Full Circle? And after I look at the fucking track record, I say the following things. Why can't your motherfucking track record match your recent level of fucking intentions? Because I have no time to be bullshitted at all for no fucking reason. You do some fucking bullshit, I'm gonna pretend like you did it on fucking purpose. I'm gonna find a reason to hold your ass responsible for it. Again, like in this person's case, when you take a financial loss, You need to take that motherfucker to court. I don't have a problem showing right up to the prosecutor's office and like, look, this motherfucker took my shit. I am about to go file a actual lawsuit against this person. The moment this shit is out of this fucking court, you need to bring this motherfucker up on some goddamn charges. Because as a man, you don't take losses. As a man, there is no bygones be bygone. As a fucking man, there is none of that shit. As a man, if you fuck up, you better get your motherfucking ass out there and fix it. And you better set a reasonable fucking time schedule when you are fucking fixing it. I fucked up too. When I lost my first business, yeah, I stiffed a lot of motherfuckers. But guess what? Once I got my shit straight, I paid the motherfuckers. I paid them more than the situation allowed. Why? I wanted to make sure I had a good ass, clear ass motherfucker track record when it came to fucking with people when it came to business. You see, a man has no problem doing that. A man is not trying to get over on anybody else. A man has no problem establishing himself within the environment. A man has no problem making the change to his personal self and investing in himself to move to the next level. A man has no problem doing that. You shouldn't have these type of problems in your life, but you're surrounded by the wrong type of people. And they look at your ass as the right type of opportunity. Look at him. I can go fuck him over. He ain't gonna do shit. Nah, fuck all that. Take no losses as a fucking man. None. All this stuff that you need to do is very fucking simple. A man shouldn't need nobody's fucking acceptance but his own fucking acceptance. And as long as you're not out here going around doing fucked up shit to people, you should be feeling good as fuck about yourself. As a man, you should not be worried about what bullshit motherfuckers think about you. You should not be worried about trying to gain the favor or the respect of no nigga, and especially niggas in this fucking space. As a man, you need to learn how to properly fucking evaluate everything that you look at and watch. You need to be black pill like a motherfucker. You need to know exactly what the fuck you're actually looking at. You need to analyze this bullshit from 20 different goddamn ways. Because if you don't watch yourself, you're going to let this motherfucker walk in here speaking your language, and then he turn out to be another game nigga. Or another nigga pretending like he got this reptile under control in this fucking environment with no fucking proof. A man has no problem doing that. You see, a lot of y'all think that the alphabet community is here to destroy men. That's incorrect. They're not even interested in men, some of them. Hold on a second. What's going on, Yori? Like, listen, man. As a man, dude, You shouldn't be having any type of problems. No type of problems. The type of problems that a man has is shit that's out of his fucking control. Not the situations and circumstances and the bullshit people that he put in his life and that he's trying to work through. A man don't work through no motherfucker. A man actually works through the government, works through business. A man don't work through bitches. A man don't work through bitch ass niggas. A man don't work through uncultured fucking people. Don't work with them. Don't try to team with them. Don't even consider them your fucking people. A man don't operate like that. If we was all part of the same tribe and actually practice the same rules and regulations, then there wouldn't be no motherfucking problem now, would it? But there's a lot of motherfuckers who want to be a man when it's fucking convenient. And that's part of the problem around this motherfucker. Because a man is consistently a fucking man, not when it's convenient. I ain't got no fucking problem telling the motherfucker to step the fuck off. Once you start exhibiting the levels of bullshit, I ain't got no problem with that. But it's not the alphabet community that wants manhood gone. It's black men themselves who want men gone. Because no matter what, the respect only is supposed to come from the woman that chose you. That's what manhood has been turned into. It's just the Goldie the Mac era. You see, as a man, you're supposed to feel good than the motherfucker about the shit that you produce. You're supposed to feel good than the motherfucker about the actual progress that you're making within your field. You're supposed to feel good than the motherfucker about the accolades you get from within the field that you represent. Now, feeling good as a man is being turned into the temporary woman that's showing your ass around temporarily till your ass get pumped and dumped. That's what manhood has turned into. Manhood has turned into going from being competent on a subject to trying to ride in with high strung emotions and no fucking track record and no fucking regard for the circumstance to which people are actually fucking talking about. Trying to do it the quick and easy way. That's what manhood has turned into. But see, if you knew what a man was, if you seen how other men operated, if you did not try to be this African American version of a fucking man, you would know what a man was. And that's fine that you don't know what a man is. What's going on, Mr. Fantastic? But if you want the results of a man, you're going to have to actually know what one is first. And that's fine that you wasn't raised by one. You can always make the choice to be one. Let's say you got a fucked up ass track record. Start tomorrow. Start today. Self-improving because you want to improve, not so that way you can be noticed. That's what happened. This is how far manhood has fallen. That other people want to take something incredibly fucking simple and turn it into something that's so fucking complex that it doesn't even serve you at the end of the day after you're done practicing all this shit. There's nothing wrong with dropping this shit and moving to another city. There ain't nothing but dropping this shit and moving to another town. There's nothing wrong with dropping this shit and moving to a room inside somebody else's fucking house because you ain't got your shit straight. As a man, there ain't no fucking problem doing that. As a man, you need to make sure that your pride is in check before your pride end up keeping you in bullshit situations far beyond its actual expiration point. And to these fucking women who are emailing me, fuck you. Have your son listen to this shit. Have your fucking little cousin listen to this shit. My information isn't for you. Because if you respected what the fuck I'm talking about, you would have one of these motherfuckers around you. And you wouldn't have shit to fucking worry about. These people are around this bitch cheapening masculinity and manhood on fucking purpose. Depending on these bad laws from feminism and the government is not a legitimate means of productivity. Lady, looking for a sucker ass motherfucker within this environment to take your ass off the fucking market isn't what manhood is. A man should have no problems admitting when he's fucking wrong. That's the problem. People want to live through mistakes and make all these dumbass rationalizations about shit they know they dead fucking wrong over. What's going on, Doc Phoenix? It's okay. Being a man is not boring. You got a lot of shit to worry about as a fucking man. And most of this shit you don't share with motherfuckers who don't produce. You share the information of your struggles with people for two reasons. One is to gain a greater understanding and possible solutions for your problems. And two is to make sure that nobody else go through the same problems that your ass is currently going through. A man has no problem doing that in society. A man has no problem doing that. It don't make you less of a man to admit that your ass is wrong and now you're going to fix this shit a certain type of way. Because actually, when you go back to the specific issue of how the fuck you got here in the first place, and once you look at it through a proper lens and you ain't trying to bullshit yourself, you can finally look at where you went wrong and make the exact changes that you need to make to move the fuck on. A man has no fucking room for nigga learning. A man ain't got time for nigga learning. If you don't know what nigga learning is, is following another motherfucker's mistakes on some shit you shouldn't fucking be in until you get the mistake right. A man has no room for nigga learning. That's the problem. No teachers, a hell of a lot of nigga learners. A man has no problem with proper evaluation and proper changes so that way you can get a better result. A man has no problem doing that shit. All these stuff are building blocks built on the same thing of personal fucking responsibility. You shouldn't have to worry whether or not you did the best job. If you put the much time in, if you put the correct amount of self-investment in, and you got the specific results that you got, you did what the fuck you were supposed to do. A man has no problem with self-investment. Actually, most places to where you are spending your time is a self-investment. Every time you eat a fucking meal, that is a self-investment. Every time you fucking work the fuck out or don't work the fuck out, that is a self-investment. Every time you pick up a fucking book to read, it doesn't matter whether it's for entertainment or actual self-improvement, that is a self-investment. A man has no problem having goals. You see, when you have these proper goals down and you're seeking out the correct help and advice for where you're trying to go, you make sure that you stay on track. A man has no problem having this shit being looked at by somebody else. Am I on the right path? Yes, no. Motherfucker, I want to know why. A man has no problem explaining his why to other people. I'll tell you my fucking why in a heartbeat. You can write that shit on a 3x5 notebook card. I have no problem explaining myself. Unless I'm explaining myself to game niggas and fuck niggas. They get no more airplay out of me. That's just where we are at. The problem is most of these motherfuckers are not men. And the outcomes and the results of the actions are nothing but a whole bunch of problems that do not reflect manhood. Bowing down to a fucking ungrateful bitch is not a standard and method of manhood. Keeping yourself around disloyal motherfuckers and celebrating the fact that you didn't get your ass bitten off yet is not a method of manhood. It ain't got shit to do with manhood. The problem is that you're not going to practice niggerhood until you get to manhood. Practicing niggerhood is going to keep your ass in niggerhood. You're not going to niggerhood your way to manhood. You're not going to niggerhood your way to fucking peace. You're practicing shit that you never even seen the end of the path of. And you wonder why this shit is not fucking working out for you. Because it didn't work out for them. And because you couldn't evaluate the information properly that you was looking at, this is why you're having a problem right now. Because you thought manhood had a nigga's respect associated with it. It's the direct opposite of fucking manhood. That's the problem. You think being a man is not going to fucking have a significant amount of sacrifice along with it? You really think that? A man ain't worried about how to have the most fun. A man makes sure his life is nothing but fun in a specific sort of way, as long as the fucking work's done. You're not trying to worry about play up front. A man ain't got nothing. A man's not worried about that shit. My grandfather wasn't worried about that shit. Just because there are a lot of things to be distracted by, that doesn't mean that you get to be distracted by it. That's a goddamn choice. So you need to understand that manhood starts with fucking responsible choice. Responsible choice is how you get here. Being a man is not about how you fucking start. Being a man is admitting your actual wrongs and faults, noticing that you ain't got the skills within the environment to actually make it forward and actually produce for self. It actually is about making the actual methods of actual self-improvement that's going to put you in a better position. It's about executing the actual plans that you actually have researched. And it's about responsibly looking at the path that you're on to making sure that your ass is on the right track. Again, it's all based on choice. But this is what's not being exhibited or practiced within this environment, and that's a problem. Because these problems that you're trying to prop up by practicing niggerhood ain't gonna do nothing but produce more niggas. We don't need more niggas. We need more men. We don't need more whores. Whores can be left the fuck alone, and they can stop growing their numbers the moment they lose sexual vitality. But the niggas have come here to dress up these whores as something that you need to be re-engaging in. I disagree with that. You gotta be a man, bro. Man, you shouldn't be having these type of problems, man. The problem is everybody's making a mint off of trying to destroy what manhood is and what manhood actually is within this environment. Yeah, they come out talking a good game, and then they turn around and they're doing the same stupid ass shit that everybody else is doing within the environment. Captain Cisco, I disagree. As long as you ain't trying to make people benefit off your fucking manhood, then a man is pretty fucking easy. Except that once you start compromising your masculinity by trying to put all this shit into it, that's when it becomes hard. That's when becoming a man becomes hard. I had to get the fuck out of the South to become an actual productive human being. So that way I wouldn't be tied down by these fucking bullshit ass jobs. So that way I could get around places where I can actually get some real fucking skill. Man has no problem doing that. My grandfather seen that there was no future for me, and he told me to get the fuck out the city the moment you get a fucking chance. Don't be afraid to walk, and reserve your right always to walk. So I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I don't want to hear from goofy ass game niggas and all these other non-masculine fucking features within this fucking space. So that way we could be able to talk about this issue and get up out of here. On second, go get me some water. Make sure you get in the queue. Then we'll talk about this issue. Then we'll roll out. All right, I'm back. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Cynical Nitro? What's going on, Judge Dre?
How's it going, MOT?
Nothing much, man.
All right, so I had some books I wanted to recommend as far as getting out of the whole brainwashing thing. I talked to Joe about some of these books, and then some of them I hadn't got around to mentioning. If you're interested, this could be something to help the brothers out.
Are you a moderator in the chat? I wasn't looking at it. Are you?
I am not a moderator on your channel. I'm a moderator for Joe, and
All
I think
right.
I
So
got.
what I'll do is I'll make you a moderator, and you drop the links to those books within the actual chat, so that way I can take them over to the Patreon group, so that way we could be able to do that.
Okay, how do I drop links for books? Because that I don't know. I know how to drop the titles. That's it.
No, just search for them on the internet, and wherever they're on sale, that you just copy that link from the browser and put that in the actual chat.
All right, we'll get to doing that right now.
Yeah. Say something in the chat so that way I can make you a moderator right now.
All right, I'm opening it up now.
Yeah, man, because a lot of people need to understand that this shit is simple to get out of, but you have to get on the process of getting out of this shit. Like, a lot of people is being, told that your life can be fine. The only thing you gotta do is compromise. No, yeah, I mean, that's a nigga Bible, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, everybody heard of 48 Laws of Power. You got another book?
Yeah, I got another couple of them actually. One of them I've been reading a lot of lately is the Laws of Human Nature.
Yeah. I like that one too.
Yeah, there's the Laws of Human Nature, The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that one.
Everybody read that one.
Yeah.
Got
You better
Mastery
read
by
that one.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah.
yeah, got Mastery by Robert Greene. 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene again.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
Manipulated
well,
Man.
you have my email?
I do not, but if you got it under the, let me see if you got it in the description.
No, I don't.
Don't have it in the description.
I'll put it out there sometimes, and then I get one of these long ass single space 5 page soliloquies on how I'm a horrible human being for not saving hoes, and I just start taking my email off these fucking things.
Okay, well, I got an idea for how you can get it to me if you want. If you drop it
No,
in a,
no, just get in contact with Joe. He'll give you my information.
yeah, and that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. So, all right, what's going on, Judge Ray?
What's going on? I said, yeah, man. I stepped away for a while. They trying to re-diversify in business. But I ain't gonna lie. I see a big marketing is coming up. A lot of people, a lot of stores and construction for businesses is coming online from all them people leaving New York.
Yeah,
So
a lot
normally
of
you
other
see, I
places.
work on
Yeah.
homes. Yeah, I work on homes. As you see now, I'm in a storefront, and I see all this money leaving on the table. I just step back a little bit, so I'm gonna go through some poor months, but to jump ahead in a different type of sector to where I don't have to, what I mean, worry about as much. It's not they're not as picky as storefronts and stuff like that, whether it would be in somebody's homes. So it's probably a lot more money because the people don't mind paying. I see they'll pay way more money, and
Oh hell
then
yeah, man!
you
Like
can
a
get more
commercial
work done.
business. Hey
Hell yeah,
man, a
that's what you
commercial
see.
business will
You
pay
see,
you way more money
yeah.
for the same work.
And let's say
Yeah,
this,
man. So
I don't even
so
know
it's like
how
this.
to bid the jobs. But if you see, like I'm doing now, you see, look around here. You see, these are
Yeah.
storefronts.
I mean, you need like a professional to do that for you. You need a professional who know the field to do that for you and partner with them.
Right.
Like when I was in
Mm-hmm.
construction, as
Right.
a because I went from like IT to like construction project manager for like a very like less than 6 months. I didn't like it because I didn't like, just sitting around the office. I couldn't stand that shit. I wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
out, so that's why I went from that to this. But yeah,
Right.
they have special people who do nothing but write proposals for and actually do those types of
Mm-hmm.
business.
Oh
There's
shoot,
specialized
what
people
Well,
who
I
does
see
that.
too, and they like this. Yeah, I see people just doing this, and like I see. Oh, like I watch. This is what I did. I took a job with a company on the books, child support killing the shit out of my ass. But
uh
I figure, okay, cool. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna network. I'm gonna get with the building, the people who own the fucking properties. Fuck these
Oh yeah.
people that own houses and shit. I'm talking these people that own skyscrapers. These are the people I'm trying to get involved with because I've noticed that they'll hire a company and they'll keep that motherfucker for like 15 years. So basically, you get
Yeah, but
all of
here's the
their
other
work.
thing. Like Judge Ray, like here's what you're running into.
Mhm,
Now I don't want you
mhm.
to get extremely or supremely upset.
What's that?
The person who you're working for is already in that
Mm.
position handing you the job.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
And so what I'm
I,
saying is
I,
that
I know.
is that that's why you have to hire a special company who would take
Hmm.
like okay, so let's say they get the contract, they'll take 5%,
Hmm.
which is a
Hmm.
fucking shit ton of money, but you're doing the
Yeah.
work and you'll get 95%.
Right.
Yeah. So all right, man. So what's
Oh,
going on,
I
York?
agree.
nah, not too much, bro. You on fire tonight, so just wanted to show up and kind of
Yeah, man. Like a lot of
be
these
up
dudes are
here.
like compromising what man or a man is, and a man is not supposed to be compromising or making deals or bowing down or trying to embody all this shit within the environment. Like being a man is a hell of a lot easier than all of that shit. And I
Yeah,
get like
Well,
these emails from
they're
these
still
young
trying to
ass
be
dudes.
tools. They're
Yeah,
trying to be
it's
tools. They don't realize that you don't realize a man is not a tool, and they want to. It's like when they go to that, they're being brainwashed back into the bullshit system of
yeah,
being a
yeah,
tool.
yeah, yeah. So it's like it's like, dude, you're a young ass dude. You know how easy like let's say if I had this shit 20 years ago when I first got out of the fucking Air Force. Dude, you know where the fuck I would be right now if I had this much access and level to opportunity? It's just
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
these people are being brainwashed not to look at opportunity, but to be an
Hmm.
opportunist and to minimally produce so that way they can fit in with one of these fucking people within the environment that they ain't supposed to be around.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, like, they're playing for nothing. They're playing
Yeah,
for nothing. Like they think that they're doing something, whatever. They're playing for nothing, bro. They have nothing to stand on except for I get pussy. And the thing is, as I got older, I just started realizing, look, you're gonna have to basically get your happiness off of who you are and what you're doing. I mean,
correct.
in my 20s, I was a guy that was running after happiness. I was trying to, do everything that I could to be happy. And then, in my mid 20s, I embraced the grind and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm going to fuck with this career. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to fuck
Yeah,
with getting these skills. And now, like, I get happiness based on the money I make, the books I read, and the types of skills that I get. Everything else I'm happy about too, but the thing is I realized I'm able to get a higher quality of access to things with this mindset, and that's why I hold on to this mindset so heavy, because I know this mindset and how I operate is going to give me everything that I need to get.
yeah,
Outside of that,
certainly.
that's it.
Well, well, do you ever think that too is a lot of times that men don't realize this that when I said when they're running chases for women because the happiness is in between the women's legs. Once they realize that they can be happy doing other
Yeah.
things, and then all of a sudden that just takes all of that, and that's the reason why the women get so upset because as soon as they're not the number one thing anymore, their value drops tremendously.
All the
I
way.
mean, because a lot of
And
times this is I can be happy. I done this. I done built that. I done look. I set up this organization, this, that, and the other. You're starting to get a better euphoria than the sex that they can offer,
Hmm.
and they know that as soon as you pay attention to anything else other than that, and they realize, well, wow, these other things are permanent. Where this thing is
Yeah.
only for 5 minutes.
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
temporary
but here's the
pleasure.
thing: like all the woman's value, sex is supposed to be like the least of it. She's supposed to be providing
Right.
some type of ambiance to enhance the entire situation that you set up, and
But
that's
these women nowadays ain't
where
doing
these
that. That's the
oh
problem.
oh of course not
Right.
but here's the thing like people don't understand that you can get a hell of a lot more out of younger culture, better looking, better acting, better everything women rather than trying to be picking up these people and
Hmm.
putting them on your team and trying to make
Yeah.
them the standard of some shit by dudes who don't have standards. And that's the way it is. It's kind of like you have like a certain person within this environment. He's not named Kevin Samuels, by the way, but he's kind of doing all the stuff that all the talking about the business shit. Then boom, you look through the catalog. Oh shit, just another game nigga. And it's
Hmm.
like
Right.
every time you look
Yep.
around, everybody is selling this whore to everybody, and it's like it's it's almost like you cannot be even a man
Escape
within
it.
Black America unless you are on some level selling this compromised piece to somebody, and it just doesn't
Hmm.
make any sense. And it's like
Right.
Hmm.
in other societies, they don't even let these guys talk. They don't even let them get access to women. Period. They just die off if your ass can't produce. Your ass is
Yep.
locked out of goddamn everything in society and life.
Well,
You know
well,
what the problem is
same
though?
thing with the Democratic candidates right now. Let me say this, and that no, I got to mute up because I'm about to use some tools. But same thing with the Democratic candidates. Say if the men sit up here and say, you know what, fuck it, we ain't voting Democrat no more until you do something for us as
Right.
men. Let's say, especially like as black men. One, the shit'll fall apart tomorrow. But the only thing, if you see, most of the programs they give are to ignorant motherfuckers who ain't doing shit or women. And no offense, productive men don't like the wait a minute. So basically, you telling
Yeah, well,
me that
here's what I'm
I
gonna
got
do.
to work my ass off to get something that I got to work my ass off to get something that somebody can sit on their ass and still be. You know what I mean? I don't want to be paying for motherfuckers sitting on their ass no more.
Yo,
You know?
yeah, man. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna come out with a nonprofit, acting like I'm helping women, and turn around and just help men with shit. Fuck it. I mean, if that's the fucking method that we gotta fucking operate, I said we operate
Oh,
like
this is
that,
what we
man.
do. Think about that. Do that
Yeah,
nonprofit. Come out and say we're
yeah,
gonna do that. But think about it. We
yeah.
do only help men get startup businesses. There
No,
you go,
no, no,
right
no,
there.
no, 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 no. But like, yeah, we're doing this shit all for the women, and just like one or two in there, get all this fucking money, just turn around and help men with shit. Fuck it. Why not? They do the same shit to us.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, plain and simple. Matter of fact, you want to do that? I said I wasn't gonna do no more scam shit back in the day. You're right. If you want to do that, I'll help you with that.
It's not a
I'll
scam.
be glad to.
We are
But right,
technically
but you know
helping
what I
women.
mean.
yeah.
Right.
because
Oh, matter of fact, no. Nowadays, we just say that those men. They said that deep down in their heart, they wanted to be a woman, so we were helping them, and
hey,
that
listen,
cover. That's
listen,
cover right there.
listen. Hey. You know what? Well, we can help
Mhm.
alphabet motherfuckers too. I don't give a fuck. Point
Right,
is,
but
the
you
money's
understand?
not
Well,
gonna
all
be
we got to
spent
do
on.
is say that.
Here,
He said
here's the thing.
he said that every once in a while he thinks about being a woman. That's good enough.
Good. Boom. Boom.
Who?
I don't give a
We
fuck.
covered. There we go. We're covered.
Yeah, man.
He
Because
said, well,
like, like, dude, here's what I've been doing to for like people like in Mississippi and shit. Like, if you pass a certain level of shit, I don't mind paying for your ass to go to Panama and you meet one of my homeboys over there and getting you something nice and bringing it back. I ain't got no fucking problem with it. Y'all move out to the country. He's still productive. Got him a good looking motherfucking productive, actual productive woman fucking wife. And that's it. He off the market. He's doing fine. You got to
Right.
replace these motherfuckers, man. Just replace the fuck out of them. Don't even care.
You
Yeah,
know what the issue is though?
yeah.
You hear me?
Go ahead, bro.
Hello? Yeah, man, I've been listening to you guys for a long time and even going all the way back to Sarge, right? So um I've been doing a little digging, right? So pretty much white folks been having their own issue. And as we try to become productive, I found that while they were productive, there were some flaws. And so I started doing a little digging, started doing a little reading about certain systems that they put in place. And I think what the issue is, and it sounds crazy, and I know a lot of people may bypass what I'm about to say, but when we speak about productivity, dealing with things, dealing with whether it be a task or equipment or what have you, just as when you had that video about the generators, um, we're starting to diverge between the subject oriented and the object oriented. So
Yeah.
basically, what's happening right now, and my Bluetooth is about to go down, but what's happening now is it's not an argument between game niggas and lames. We're immersing ourselves into this realm with all the other cultures that are dealing with tangible objects. So we are having our behaviors align with these things. Like we're composing gestures to adapt to these things. And what's happening to these so-called street dudes is that because they don't have too much access to these things, or they don't navigate the world in that way, they fall on the wayside when it comes to what women dabber into, and that's the subject, meaning people. This is why their movements are more fluid. We have somewhat of, and I've noticed this everywhere I work. I have three occupations, and I've noticed, and you guys, I know you've recognized this, but have you ever seen someone um, move in a sense of emergency or just a sense of urgency, and someone in the background is kind of mocking them. What's happening with that is that person that's moving with a sense of urgency, they're moving to respond to something tangible, a thing that is not a person. And so the person that's laughing in the background, 9 times out of 10, is the dude that um, pretty much is, I don't know, aligned with street culture or the subject oriented. They mock that person because those gestures are foreign to them. So what's happening right now is there's a clash between two systems. You have the object oriented, which is the productive guy, which has to navigate through the realm of dealing with equipment, trucking, housing, just every type of thing that majority of men work with. And you have the subject oriented, where you have guys that manipulate people, hence game, and they don't even have direct terms to explain this, but they know how to do it because this these type of gestures that they use. They can't even explain their own process to you.
No, they
It's
can't.
not that they can't, and it's the reason is because it's not something oriented around. And then I say objects are signs. They're signs because they refer to something. Like you have a stop sign that refers to stop. You have, a fire hydrant that refers to something else.
But it's not.
But
But it's not meant to be deformed, defined for a reason. Because here's the thing: they're not getting even the women that they claim that they're getting. They're not getting either. The only thing they're doing is a free marketing ploy for the actual women in the environment. They're doing nothing but matriarchal, gynocratic virtual signaling that they do get the women when they don't get the shit at all either themselves. And once you produce something like that in front of bitch ass niggas who can fucking sit there and act like they're doing something, that that's
MOT,
what happens.
MOT. It's like the blind leading the blind, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
The
yeah,
blind leading the blind. That's what it's
yeah.
like. That's all it
and
is
this
in a
and,
nutshell. That's just
and
like
So
this
what
that's
I'm
just
doing,
like MOT. Real quick, MOT. Remember the person that you mentioned? You said was like a associate or a friend, and he came
yeah,
up with that thermometer that like for the COVID, to scan
yeah,
you, and you thought
yeah,
he was asking for money. And when he
yeah.
called you and spoke to you and said that he was getting $200, was it per scan or per something? It almost blew your mind.
No,
It was
no,
so
no, no,
funny
per
when you
hour,
get per hour. That's
per
right.
hour, but
Thank
just
you
sitting
per
out there.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for that. And when you gave that example, do you know I wanted to get on Amazon and look for that $200 scanner?
Yeah,
But what I'm
that's what you're
saying is
supposed
that
to do.
he's a producer. Pretty much, we need more producers. You know what I'm saying? Not slackers. We need more producers right here, right now. But that example was
and,
a great example of a producer. You know what I mean?
and
Right out of the
this
air. Yeah.
and another point too is that a lot of people think that just because you refer to like foreign women, you're thinking about femininity. That's true. However, because we pushed our industrial, like our industries outside of America, I honestly think that we align more with people or women outside of this country because they are in the realm of production. So, in other words, in America, the women here, although they're dealing with things, it's as if it's of luxury. And but when you go overseas, they have certain jobs and stuff like that that we pretty much handed off to them that we don't do anymore. So they understand your purpose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just at the end of the day that th- like their version of manhood is not going to survive. So what I'm doing is I'm forcing the actual issue of humiliating the fuck out of these goddamn dudes who are not men. And I don't give a fuck about what they say and what they think, because the more we destroy this fucking image and stay away from these fucking women that help their image actually grow and be what they are, they can't fucking survive. And they look dumb as fuck even trying to even defend this shit. So that's what I'm saying. Because this shit ain't based on no masculinity or manhood. Because here's the thing. If we came out of like want Reconstruction acting like this, we wouldn't be able to. Come on, man, with the background, who's doing that? All right, yeah. So it's like, look. So these people are actually helping the gynocracy win. These game niggas are not men. They're nothing but bitch ass niggas who's trying to destroy masculinity and help the woman stay in charge. That's why they care about her choosing ability so much. So I'm like this. Fuck these dudes. Fuck these women who are actually sitting out here on the market waiting for their compromised man to go by. Have these dudes be productive. They don't like producers any fucking way. Keep your money to your motherfucking self. Move on to some other shit and boom. There's nothing wrong with manhood. It's just that a man is not going to be celebrated because this is not a place where manhood is actually celebrated or even appreciated. So when you start to bow down to what they actually fucking like, you lose your actual ability to negotiate anything better.
Yeah, because you throw away your leverage.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
all you have to do is pretty much. This is one good example. All you have to do is talk about something technical around a female, and see how fast they cut you off. They don't want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? It's just like we don't, like I said, orient ourselves around anything that um, involves technology, or we just don't celebrate any of that stuff. So
what's
we
going on,
kind
game
of,
changer? But go ahead.
push that
Yeah.
stuff to the back burner. It's like I've seen that tons of times. So yeah,
This is
our
why I
culture's
say this.
messed up.
No, 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 no. It's their culture. You get to form your own culture. There are other cultures. You don't have to bow down to nigga culture. You just don't. Just because you got dark fucking skin, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, there is more happiness to be experienced in life without these fucking people around. I'm a living fucking example of that. And all these motherfuckers ain't got no fucking proof that I can clearly fucking show that can fucking challenge it. Period. Even in the
Right.
women department, they don't win there either. So it's like, listen, a man is not supposed to be doing shit over and over again. A man is supposed to be having a stable fucking environment so that way he can grow. That's why you grow. You grow from fucking stability. Like, could you imagine an actual plant or a crop in the fucking dirt where there was constant motherfucking removal of the fucking dirt every 5 minutes? How the fuck would that crop be able to fucking grow in that environment? The point is, you can only be able to go so far in that environment before you get uprooted. These people know that they're like eating baby corn and trying to act like they're eating fucking grown ass corn on the cob. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's like, come on, man. These people are destroying the shit. So now it's time for us to go right back on the offense and destroy their shit. Go on offense. I'm here to destroy this fucking image. Period.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what these motherfuckers say because most of the motherfuckers who you don't see here anymore are the people who are actually compromised by the same fucking system. They ain't trying to move on. So fuck them. Move without them. I'm already moving without them any fucking way. So I'm just telling people and showing people to have the strength to leave this shit the fuck alone. What's going on, Wacky? What's going on, Dr. Phoenix? What's going on, Game
And then,
Changer? Yeah,
and then
yeah, but that's the
and then
thing.
the male spirit started off with the issue of the behavior of women. How did we switch from that to this now? I mean, I don't
Niggas,
get it.
niggas, niggas. That's
I
what
don't even
happened.
remember us turning to that. I mean, that's crazy.
No, 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 no. Manosphere 2.0 came in with the idea that this space needed to be monetized. So they brought in all these fucking corrupt features that was not going to make this fucking space work in the first place. And that's where
And
the
we
fuck
weren't
we are.
even we weren't even just talking about just relationships. I'm just talking. It's just like family too. I
Uh,
mean, you
I know.
got sisters,
Uh,
aunties, mothers, grand. They disrespect you too. It wasn't just oriented around just relationships. It was just our women in general. It's just I don't know where we came from that in the past to this now. It just don't make sense to me.
all right.
A cute girl came around, and unfortunately, a lot of these dumbass Negroes realized that they fell back to their old ways. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
They fell
I
back
mean,
to the main. You fell back basically like this. They were reformed drug addicts. They were on heroin. Then one night they go ahead and slip and hit the heroin. Now they fucking addicts again, and they're sitting up here and they're being a detriment to their own cause. That's basically what happened.
It's cool. It's just that this place is pretty much turned into the entertainment industry. So
Yeah.
what
Thank
happened?
you.
So don't worry about it.
I mean,
But
and unfortunately, a lot of them, the only thing they have is this online presence. And the main thing is this: what do? As soon as they get into a argument, they go revert back to the only thing that they have that they can brag about. Somebody's little you know is probably half of them. You probably don't know you. Unfortunately, women are ability.
all right, cool. Hey,
That's
man,
the
look like you're
problem.
bugging out, or maybe that's me. But
Nah.
you know,
He's Borging like crazy. But
okay,
it's
yeah.
all good, bro. We got what you're saying, Judge.
Good, good,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah. So it's just at the end of the day, man. If you didn't compromise what a man actually was, you wouldn't need all this play shit to show on to what manhood is. It's very simple and easy. You're supposed to be productive, not compromising and following clown ass niggas' advice that they haven't even proven that they're actually doing out here, man. And it's like I keep getting these emails from these young ass fucking kids who see and know that there's something wrong. While I'm happy that they're sending me the email, they see the shit something that's clearly wrong with this shit too. And like a lot of people don't see compromising to this shit as a verifiable means of going forward. So there's an actual market here of helping
Yeah.
these people out of this fucking shit. Because these people now don't realize that they dug themselves a pretty fucking deep hole by being out here thinking that they got the answer to this shit for a while. And it doesn't matter how many closed streams that you fucking make and how many people you block for saying shit about it, you're on the fucking record for saying this shit.
Right. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
man.
it's crazy because I'm one of the I'm pretty much an example. Basically, what I ended up having to to do is take care of four of my sisters and my mother based off something
Damn.
that happened in the past due to this bullshit. Like my mother was out there basically, and she got with several dudes. My sisters were byproducts of those guys. They didn't step up. I had to step up in my late teens, work three jobs, try to get a house to facilitate them. Did they respect me? No. This is why I'm at the space because it doesn't have nothing to do with any relationships and stuff like that. It's just when you are the sacrificial lamb for these dudes, this is what you know have this is what have you come here. It's like it doesn't have nothing. I mean, I don't know why they're defaulting to, oh, you must have bad luck with women. No, the circumstance that I had that didn't have nothing to do with it. You see what I'm saying? Nothing at all. Like I had to take care of my sisters and my mother, and then I stepped back and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? You know,
Hello? Anybody there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. Somebody borged out though. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah. That's what it
waiting.
was.
I was waiting for him to finish his
Yeah.
point.
So this is the thing, and this is kind of the most damaging part of this shit is translating everybody's discontent with the situation and trying to turn it into sexual frustration. I swear to God, man, if I ever seen one of these motherfuckers in person, they will fucking every person I've ever even heard say that shit needs to be put up on fucking charges, man. Because everything that happened to these people in life, in the environment, is not going to be solved or cured by sexual fucking access.
Thank
Right.
you.
Everything is not going to be
And
solved
what's
by
so
that
bad
shit.
is
It's
here's the
crazy to
thing.
think that.
Yeah,
But here's the question,
and
MOT.
sexual
This what gets
sexual
me with the
access for
sexual
the
frustration.
yeah
Fuck.
Oh, go ahead,
and
man.
yeah a
No, I'm just
sexual
saying with the
yeah
sexual frustration shit, it's bad because this is the thing. All of us men still getting sex.
That's the problem.
It's just that we just tired of the bullshit we going through. That's the problem. I said last time I checked, I'm pretty sure all three of us, or all four of us that was here, everybody done got laid in the last couple of days.
Yeah,
I mean, no offense, I still sleep next to a woman, but you still get tired of that dumb bullshit.
sure, sure. Yeah,
So they
It
take
has
you,
nothing to do with these people not getting sex. We tired of the
yeah,
system.
and so they try to. They're actually male feminists because they're here to help the women win within the environment by keeping this bullshit notion going. And that's kind of what the issue is here. Is that they come to the door acting like they give a fuck, and then they turn around, they're just another game nigga. Speaking for the women within the environment by saying one, they ain't got no problems getting the women that they want within the environment. And like, guess what? Big Bubba ain't got no problem getting the men that he want behind the walls of that fucking prison. He probably don't have no problem. But that doesn't mean
Right,
that doesn't mean the circumstances are fucking
right,
ideal. And they kind of throw that shit out the window. But they're just dishonest
right.
fucking black men, and I'm sick of these fucking niggas being around here. I'm sick of them breathing and talking within our fucking space. Go form your own fucking space.
Well, yeah, like I said, the problem is this: they don't realize that they don't realize that they still. The problem is that they're still asleep. They don't realize they're just being used, and they think that that shows how weak-minded they are. Because that shows, oh, girl gives their some ass and this, that, and the other, and next minute you sitting here fighting against things. You fighting things to add more shit to your plate. It's like, oh well, fine, yeah, I'm gonna fight for the women. Well, instead of 100 pounds of cotton, now I got to pick 120. But a real man should do that. Well, wait a minute, dude. You just, shot your own self in the foot. You don't realize you want to be more productive. You don't need nobody out here draining your ass. But I hate to say that they're just a male version of a
Yeah,
parasite,
that's it.
just draining everything away.
Yeah, that's where we at. And if you point out anything that they say is bullshit or anything
Yeah.
else, you hating or you don't like my numbers or any of this shit. It can't be the fact that they're clearly doing what the fuck we say that they're fucking doing. They gotta be all this other bullshit. And then they come with the bullshit. Well,
Well,
I have a
see,
right to parasite off the environment. It's all entertainment. Like, get the fuck out of my face, that whole ass shit. Nigga, fuck out of here.
okay, but also too, you ever notice that most of the people in this area in our little group, most of us are all independent business owners. We all got something going for us and everything. One of the things we should already know, especially people in our field, we know that there are not a lot of people like us, and we are always the outcast. We're looked at as outcasts, but we're the only fucking productive
I
ones.
mean, but
You
just
ever notice that? But
yeah,
we're the outcasts. Wait a
but
minute,
just to
motherfucker, you the one to
assume,
say I'm building the system.
but dude,
You take it
yeah,
from the system.
yeah, but check this shit out though. But just to assume anybody who has a counter argument in the situation
Right.
haven't had enough pussy to the point to where they broke and start selling the dumb shit that they're doing. It's fucking laughable. It's fucking crazy.
Right. But you sit up here and say, wait a minute, I'm an independent business owner. You're an independent
Yeah.
business owner. Nigga, you just a drone. You go to work for somebody else. You ain't never talk about those independent business owners work harder than anybody else because you work more hours and a lot of times you ain't getting paid for that shit. To set up, I mean, it's gonna be a company with your name on it after you die, or it's gonna be something that you left behind. These fools is if Amazon or whoever tried to fire them tomorrow, they'd be fucked.
I'm gonna go.
And I mean,
hmm
Corona showed the
Oh
ass that.
yeah.
Didn't Corona show you?
Showed
I
a
mean, plain and
lot
simple.
of
I
people
mean,
that.
it didn't
Showed a
hurt me.
lot of
That's the
people
only
what's
reason why.
going on, man.
A lot of people met the fucking dropping of that fucking hammer and they couldn't
Like,
handle the shit.
yeah, like when,
I mean, but you
Yeah,
have to realize
well,
that.
like that's why you think I said, oh, I looked up and saw all these businesses building up. I'm like, oh shit, I need to get in that field. I
Yeah.
was working on houses. I said, no, let me go ahead. I'll go ahead over here for a couple of weeks and do this. Why? So I get my foot in the door. I done met two people that own skyscrapers here in Cleveland and start mingling with them. I'm gonna go ahead and then shift my company over. We're gonna start working on storefront properties only. Fuck the damn
Oh,
houses.
no doubt.
We'll build the offices and shit up, you know, and get that money for the next. Go ahead and capitalize on all these people moving here to our city.
Hey man, if you're in Cleveland, man, you don't know I'm always going through the East Coast
You know.
on I-80, man. Should I stop by there and see your motherfucking ass every time I come through? Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Shoot, man. If you ever in Cleveland, you need a place to stay.
oh
Shoot,
yeah.
man. Remember, a house big enough you can crash at my
Oh,
house rather than pay for
oh,
a
that's what's
hotel.
up. What's up?
That's what's up,
I
man.
got an empty lot across the street, so big enough you can park your truck across the street.
What's going on? Yeah, man. It's just that nobody. It's kind of like nobody is speaking up for masculinity. So therefore, other voices for masculinity are kind of popping up and speaking for it for us. And I'm just like this type. Oh shit! Hold on a second. Let me drop the link, Mike. Please. And that's kind of what happened.
What gets me is these people don't realize women come with women. This is the problem. Women don't think this is the problem. Most of these women, and especially in our field, they're not thinking about anything longer than 2 seconds from now. And that's the problem. They're not putting no money aside. They're not trying to sit up here and capitalize. They want that instant gratification rather than, well, wait a minute. Maybe, say you want to wear that $500 weave. Well, why don't you create the market where your ass can always be wearing the $500 weave and you selling it to the dummies?
That's the actual thing. They don't create.
You
They
know what I
only here
mean? They
to
don't put in
consume.
all.
And so, and so they actually think
Right,
that everybody who has
right.
a
Well,
problem.
that's one reason.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that's the reason why. If you ever notice, that's one reason why that they give all the power and shit, like when it comes to custody of children and stuff like that. Like, think about it. You see all these millionaires and they get a divorce, but yet now you paying her. The reason why they would never give the kids to the men because they know, wait a minute, men are more structured. They'll do this. They don't spend the money like they do. Women like, as you say, they like to be entertained and they will spend their last fucking dollar to be entertained.
Yeah.
Where the man's gonna be like, well, if it don't got no purpose, I mean, I see doing it every now and then, but it ain't no everyday thing. It's like, what can I when I'm done? What'll be left? What type of, we want to do something. We want to go out and build, as you say, we want to build something. All they want to do is sit back with their feet up and eat.
Nah, man, we gotta take this shit back, or showing that we putting up a competent fucking fight, so that way there can be a counter argument. Because to a lot of these dudes, they go through these fucked up circumstances, and then they listen to one of my fucking videos, and then they change their whole entire perspective on fucking everything. I'm like, damn,
Right.
I always felt like this, but I never had anybody around to talk to keep me on the right track. And this shit just became it seemed normal because most of these people grow up in the environment. The very little reinforcement that they do get is actually pretty fucking negative as well, unless they behave like this. And that's kind of like the problem and shit, man. That that isn't right, but that's where we are.
Right. Right. Because remember, like we're fighting against what's conventionally put out there. And it's not even the game guys that are doing this. It's culture. Like if you realize how easy pussy is to get when it comes to like these dating apps and stuff like that, of course it's gonna bring in a culture of non-productivity and stuff like that. Especially with these young guys. It's
And
just
also,
like, yeah.
productivity is going to get supplanted because productivity isn't rewarded as well as quick access.
Well, I got a question for you. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, it's like, especially after you get your mind frame on that, you don't even think about getting laid as much. I was
Yeah,
sitting here thinking,
yeah,
wow,
you don't.
my bra was laying in the bed butt naked last night. Did I roll over and touch her? No, I didn't. Why is that? Because I was sitting here too busy thinking about how I'm going to capitalize on this. I hate to say, I've gotten to the point now that every time that I see a way to make money and I didn't do it, it pisses me the
Yeah,
fuck
Yeah,
off.
it
yep.
does. It does.
You know what I mean?
It
It's
gives
like,
you
God
not. It
damn,
gives you
dummy. I was
nightmares.
supposed to make that. I'm like, God, I'm leaving all this money on the table. Right.
It
It's
gives
like
you
I'm sitting up here
nightmares,
like,
bro.
damn, nigga, I could have capitalized right there. Right. I'm
Hey,
like,
I got a
that should
question,
be
gentlemen.
my money.
Have
Go
y'all
ahead.
ever have
Go
y'all
ahead,
ever
Nitro.
noticed that it's always the most depressed people, the most financially fucked up people that are having the most sex? Like, do people ever stop to think that sex is like MOT, you said it earlier. I'll say it now. Sex is not the be all end all. And as far as like the being tired of bullshit, I don't know how many people's fiancés and like girlfriend, mind you, I didn't know before this shit started, but I don't know how many people's girlfriends and fiancés I don't fucked. I don't know how many like Poogies and Ray Rays, these same niggas that some of these niggas buy into game. Like I done had these niggas kicked out the house just for the girl to come because the girl wants me to fuck with her. I done had girls call me off of their boyfriends' phones and shit. It is not a sex thing, it's a mentality thing, and it's
Yeah, it is.
brainwashing that's
Mhm.
been going on for a long ass time.
Yeah,
So they assume that the thing that they point to as power, other people don't have access to, and it's only exclusive to them when that's far, far from the fucking case.
Yeah.
That's the whole issue. But time for these
Well,
motherfuckers
too,
to go.
you realize too that people that are real productive, they don't have a lot of sex anyway. Because I hate to say something, sex drains a lot of fucking energy. I
hmm
mean, so like if I'm sitting up here and I'm banging out business deals here and there, I'm not sitting up here fucking 10 times a day
you can't afford.
because I'm getting these business deals done. Right, I can't afford to because I need to be on my P's and Q's, especially in a competitive environment when I know. I mean, think about it. Before the Super Bowl, don't they tell the players not to have sex that week? They want to make sure that they come with a full game straight. You're not going to sit up there and be sitting up here fucking five, six broads and then trying to negotiate 10 different business deals
Nah,
that
man,
week. That shit
it
ain't
don't work
happening.
that way. And
It's not going to
Maybe
happen
at the
that
end
way.
of the week
That
after
drains
you got it
time, that
done,
drains energy, and in a
right,
lot of cases, that drains money, whether it be right at the moment or 18
right,
years later.
hmm Yeah,
right.
and that's why I
Be
keep.
sitting here like one of me. Like I'm sitting here this. I'm sitting here this. You'd be like me. I'm sitting here this. Now think about it. I stepped back and went back in the field to where I'm getting paid by this. This job pays like 50 something thousand a year.
Mm,
After child support, I'm making $225 a week.
Damn.
Now,
shit.
how the fuck would you know what I mean? You would think that, okay, a job 50 something thousand a year, you should be cool. I mean, if my house and shit wasn't paid off, I'd be fucked.
dude, as a singular person,
Yeah.
like that's the point. As a man, all this shit that you've been
That's what I tell these
socially
people.
engineered into
Mhm.
thinking is needed to be a part of masculinity or manhood is fucking bullshit. Dude, you can live a hell of a lot
Right.
better life without all this crazy ass shit around.
Right. Tell them all the time. I mean, and you would think too, I ain't even gonna lie, Cleveland's not an expensive city to live in. To be making 50 plus is a decent job.
Yeah,
But
it
to
is.
know that, you sit up here because you sit up here and be careless with your shit. Now you gotta, I mean, like taxi, and I didn't even realize. I looked up I'm paying more in child support now than I was 3 months ago. And don't ask me how.
Uh,
What the fuck is like? What the hell? I looked up when I started calculating how much money. I was like, oh hell no! How the hell my shit go up?
yeah.
But you know how mommy needed more money.
I'm like, wait a minute! I'm paying. I was only paying like 11 something. Now I'm paying like 15.
Yeah, so here's the issue. This is not about hating women or anything like that. It's about proper positioning for yourself. So that way you're good and you're not trying to take care of the entire culture with this shit. You let the people who want to, because it's not that many people who want to clearly be defined by this bullshit, let them. I'm just saying, don't pick these motherfuckers up. Roll off to some different shit, man. It's not that hard.
Pretty much. It gets to a point like this. A lot of these guys don't understand with the amount of access to women that they have, it's making them more compromised
Oh, sure.
because all they're thinking about is women. Like sometimes you got to separate yourself. The biggest thing that I realized when I was younger, like in my late 20s, I had to separate myself from everything and get super focused on what I was doing. in order for me to even be able to compete. Because the guys that I was trying to go after were competing at such high RPMs that I couldn't compete without really focusing myself. And I keep doing that, like, because every once in a while you're like, okay, like you start thinking about this stuff in terms of productivity. It's like, okay, you'll be laying down and basically be like, how am I able to actually get more done in a day so that I don't have to do this stuff
Oh, sure.
longer? So you sit
Man,
down and start thinking about that mentally and compartmentalizing everything, because that's what you got to do. Like when you have
yeah.
days that you're not as productive, if productivity is that important, you'll sit in bed just thinking about that shit because you have to.
Yeah, it's just that people think that the RPM ratchets per minute or tolerating the ratchets bullshit per minute is somehow a legitimate means of production that need to be considered with having an actual viable means of fucking money that you're not giving away and time that you're not spending up running up behind this bullshit all the time. And it's like we need to create a culture and let motherfuckers know that, hey man, because look, 1980s and all this shit. Productive men just never had a voice on TV letting motherfuckers know that, nah, man, I don't agree with this shit. So the only people who talk and the loudest voices in the room became the gay motherfuckers and the motherfuckers who actually want to fucking fuck this shit up.
Sure.
And it's like, say they want to like increase their ratchet hood, their ratchet cards, but I was just like, man, look at all this bullshit that I put up with. Look at all this easy shit that I get up with. I'm like, what? Like, how the fuck is this helping you? I'm
And it's
like,
like,
dude,
dog,
listen. Yeah,
like I say,
it's like, look, an actual woman, you don't need to do this shit. I've been with women of other cultures. Trust me, the experience is
Way better.
highly up there. And especially when you know that they enjoying what the fuck they're getting into and everything's fucking flowing smoothly, women can't wait to do all that other shit. Yeah, but they think that it can only be done through ratchets to them. It can
Mm-hmm.
only be done through uncultured women, and that's type of the bullshit that I don't want to fucking do this shit. And it's okay to say like, hey man, you wasting a lot of your motherfucking time, bro. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm telling you, man, drop this shit tomorrow. Get yourself some fucking money. Increase your fucking peace around this motherfucker. Get around more fucking assets and leave these fucking liabilities alone. This is the only thing that this shit's about. It's not about anything else.
Right.
But
Yeah.
every time you talk, they want to shut down the conversation and they want to trail off the conversation to some other goofy ass bullshit. And then one corner they go into some highly emotional screed about tricks and all that shit, which I'm gonna destroy tonight. You know what I'm saying about nah, there's something else going on here. So we need to talk about that shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
this off for 2 hours. We got about 6 minutes left. Y'all got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, bro. I'm just here to
well,
basically tell people get productive. Like I took 15, 20 minutes to jump on here, but after that, I'm gonna be posting more stuff on eBay, trying to get more sales, and just looking at the market because, like Judge was saying, I missed a move in the market today, and it's pissing me off.
Oh
So
yeah.
just yeah, like from yesterday to today, I probably missed a move that probably would have paid me 2 grand, and I'm fucking pissed off. So
Hey.
it
That
happens,
man.
bro.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is about that. And I tell people all the time, you got to get into that to where I want to be. I'm so competitive when somebody else gets some money. I mean, I ain't trying to like take food out of a person's mouth, but it's like if I know that I could have had that deal and somebody else got it, I'm kind of mad at myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. That's
I
right.
had the time. I could have done that job. Somebody else got that job, not me. I'm fucking up. I mean, it's like you slip. I mean, think about it. I mean, if you really want to be honest, think about it. Amazon and all these other big companies do the same damn thing. They're competitive as fuck. And you be like, well, why the fuck? Because anybody could be the next person to come and put their motherfucking ass out of business.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to say something else.
Just what it is.
I want to say something
All right.
else on top of this. You know, for every deal that you lose, you've got to be hungry enough to go catch the next deal. Because, like, for example, right, the market went up today.
The next one. Well, two. You use it as a learning lesson.
Yeah, the market went up today, but that also means that the stocks that short the market got cheaper. So as one part of the market gets more expensive,
Yep.
Another part of the market that you're looking at got cheaper. So you're like, well, you know, at least I didn't get this one, but I got this deal in the works.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
so that's how you have to look at it.
Right. Well, my girl,
Go ahead,
my
Joe.
girl, she had got in on the Tesla. We had both got in on Tesla, but she got in on Tesla, and when it went to I sold at 520, but she sold at 549.
No,
Yeah,
no, but that
She
made
was-
Elon Musk mad that they were shorting this shit. That's why he pumped this fucking stock market. I was like, fuck you, I ain't no goddamn failure. And that's how you got to be able to fucking take these motherfuckers to task
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah, you have.
That's
to
what
go
it's
after
about,
it.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, like like I said, I didn't short, but I'm just saying it's like, you know, it's like it's always go moves to be made, and it's like this is if you this is the problem with people like us, or we hungry, we like to make moves, we like to make money, we like to see results.
Yeah.
There's always going to be moves to be made. I mean, some days you lose. I do admit, I lost about 2 days later. I lost then. I had lost like 10% in like half an hour. You know, playing around. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, that's the thrill of the chase. And I try to tell these people is stop putting your thrill between a woman's legs. There's more things in life to thrill than that. And I'll say that the stuff that once you start to like have a thrill on something else other than what's between a woman's legs, you'll end up getting a lot more of what's between a woman's legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
because it's not even that hard to fucking deal with, and everybody's dealing with the same cachet
Thank you.
of people within the environment. So when people try to make it look like, saying anything about their power source means that you can't handle, like, get the fuck out of my face, that dumbass shit. Get your motherfucking ass out of here, stupid ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like, I can't
But the
fuck.
problem is too, don't you realize after you start doing shit in bed, this is the problem. Maybe that's here's another thing. Maybe the hardest thing they ever got was get some pussy. Then the hardest thing they ever had to
That was
work
their
for.
biggest achievement.
Once you start doing
That was
other
their
things,
biggest
I hate to say
achievement.
getting pussy is
Judge,
easy.
Judge,
Right,
listen,
yeah,
man.
your biggest achievement.
That is their
You're right.
biggest
You
achievement.
be like, wait a
They
minute,
don't want
dude, I
you
done
taking that away from
negotiated
them.
deals where I'm getting paid off top.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
that's
bro.
their biggest
You be
achievement.
like, dude, wait a minute, I own my own business.
That's their biggest
I'm
achievement.
the only black person in this area running everything.
They got something that falls in your lap. All you got to do is be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that's it, man. So
Hey,
so any last
MOT.
words? I gotta cut this off. Two
Nah,
hours.
bro.
But go.
We good.
All
We
right.
good.
Full circle. You got
Hey,
anything else before we get up out of here, man?
Yeah, real quick. The cat that said that let it be a learning lesson. Understand this. You only get so many chances. I understand the lessons and everything, but after a while, you have to, kind of say this might not just be for me. Not in your case, but learn the lessons. But you only get so many shots. Just keep that in mind. And thank you again, MOT. I'm
All
out.
right, no problem, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
Anybody else? Judge Ray, Iori?
Nah, bro. Just thanks for having us. Thanks for putting this out, bro. Because it's like I even told Wacky. Shout out to Wacky World of O if he's still here. It's like we need this space to be what it is,
Yeah.
and like it's about the space. It's not about anybody else. That's why like whenever I hear somebody just talking some shit, I got to put them in line because this space is more important than these fuckers that are basically trying to fuck it up.
No, I mean because here's the thing: if masculinity and manhood function the way it was supposed to function, there's no need for these extra niggas anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no need
That's
for
right.
it. And so, but what I'm saying is, immediate and deliberate fucking Cold War. Fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck them. If you want to sit here and brag on welfare pussy, you go do that. But your ass is not gonna be in a safe fucking space and place to do that shit. Go form your own space. These clown ass niggas did not even go and form their own space. They came in like a hoe.
Yeah.
Came in, came through the back door, tried to co-op some shit, turn some shit into some shit that it wasn't even for. Fuck you. I'll never forgive motherfuckers for no shit like that. Go out here and get a legitimate means of productivity so that way you ain't got to do goofy ass shit like that, man.
Right.
So
that's right, man.
That's all I got, man. So if anybody got nothing else, close out.
All right, bro. Take care, Judge.
All right, no problem. I want to thank everybody for coming through. This is a talk about man and manhood specifically. Thank you for the guy who emailed me. You have to realize that you're not on the wrong track because the actual environment that you're in doesn't celebrate where you're trying to go. They don't get shit out of a man who's independent because of his actual accomplishments. And that's how come they don't respect shit like that. And they've never had to respect anything like that, ever. And they just want to purge you out of the environment because you won't do anything for them. There's nothing wrong with that, but as long as you know that you're not doing the wrong thing. Take your ass to school, get your ass out of that house, and go be productive and be happy as fuck and keeping that shit and not dating anybody who embody any type of circumstance. You ain't doing nothing wrong, man. So I want to thank everybody for listening and coming through. Time coming through. It's normal on the channel because forward. Progress, brothers. Bye.
All right, brother. Bye.